What's going on, traders? Tesla has been an absolute monster, absolutely crazy run, and I think it's safe to say we can all finally come to an agreement that it's a bubble, as they always are. So let's go ahead. We're going to look into the chart. We're going to show you guys a couple things, and we're going to give you guys our analysis on where we're planning on buying next. So this is what the stock chart of Tesla currently looks like. It hits about a high of $1,000, 968, and then we've crashed down since then, hitting a low of about 700. If you guys listened to our podcast, which we just uploaded last night, we were pretty much calling for Tesla to start coming down today. Not to say we're geniuses, it's pretty obvious. But right now, what we're looking at next is we're going to be looking at a buy for Tesla. So the green box you now see on the screen, that is the zone at which we are starting to consider looking at a dip buy opportunity for Tesla. See, all bubbles naturally work the same way. They get hyped up, they run up really big, and then when they come down and they crash, they're normally going to crash about 50% of the move at which they made going up. So if we were to calculate what 50% of this move on Tesla would be, we would end up somewhere in the 500 to really 600 area, 650. So right now our desired buy levels are pretty much 600. We don't believe it's going to get too much below 600 in this swift move. We think we're going to see a retracement before it even hits 600. So right now we're really keeping our eyes on really the $650 zone. Now what you're seeing on our screen is a custom volume study that one of the members in our chat room actually custom coded for the Boiler Room Trading team. Now this custom code or this custom volume study, what it's telling us is that yesterday, all the volume at which Tesla traded yesterday, 60% of that volume was bearish selling volume. Today, what our study is coming to tell us is that 85% of all the volume taking place today is more of bearish selling activity or volume. So this can give us a good indication that obviously the stock has turned bearish and that it was starting to turn very bearish yesterday. And that's why we kind of hopped on that podcast and we're starting to let people know that we're starting to get that bearish feel onto Tesla, and it's probably time to start watching it short bias or bearish. So now let's talk about all the reasons why we could even consider Tesla more of a buy down in the 600 area. We're going to look at a couple different scenarios. So now we're going to look at a couple reasons why we're really strongly looking at that 600 area as a buy zone currently. If you're a trader that pretty much focuses solely on support and resistance, kind of like support zones or structural support systems, those types of traders are going to be looking right at about the $596 area down to 540. You could also argue they might be looking as low as 498 here. But again, that's pushing it a little. That's kind of stretching it. That'd be pretty far-fetched to see Tesla crash that much. Possible, but probably unlikely. If you're a trader that loves looking at gap fills and using gap fills to judge trading, then you might be looking at your next possible gap fill, which is right here at 589 to 614. Now for the Fibonacci traders, there's many of ways to do Fibonacci's, but I can guarantee somebody out there somewhere using Fibonacci retracements is probably projecting a bounce right around that 600 area, because I could totally see them doing their Fib retracement moves from this swing low to this swing high of the top, and then getting a feel for what that 50% to 60% retracement move would be. And the 50 to 60 are the two most common. That's going to put us right at about 607, 608 down to 522. Even with all of that, there's probably some Elliott Wave traders out there. They're doing some form of Elliott Wave, whether in a smaller time frame or a bigger one. I could see a bigger time frame Elliott Wave pattern potentially here, where we have wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, small corrective wave 4, a bubbled out wave 5, and then we have our corrective move, and we're projecting that move could be all the way down to here, and then we have our big bounce, and then we get another corrective wave down, which usually would hold above wave 4 support, or in this zone we should hold above, and then again we get our next bounce. We got one more thing up our sleeve why we're seeing the $600, $650, that zone as the buy point. So even with all of that being said, it's very possible that we even have some form of price action standard deviation traders in the market, and they're probably going to be looking for a buy level down here at about $616. Now, just for fun, let's put all those fancy indicators and this and that and those levels on the chart, and let's just see what we come up with for fun, eh? So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, with all that fancy hibbity-hoo on the chart. Does it make it any more obvious? No, actually, it makes it more complicating, and that's why you usually don't have this messy of a chart. But if we can just see all those strategies kind of stacked on top of one another, we see that the blue 50% level comes in at about a price of 605. We see that the standard deviation level here comes in at about a price of 605. We see that the gap fill pricing traders could be looking at starts from 670 to like 650. Structured support traders would be looking anywhere from about 500 up to arguably like 640. If you're an Elliott Wave person, you just believe that this thing's going to be crashing basically down into the 600s. So all of those traders with all of those strategies in the mind, they're all probably looking right about the $600 price right now. I am. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have for you here on this video regarding Tesla. In the future, we're going to break down some really cool fundamental analysis on the stock, and we hope you guys tune in for that video as well. Before you head out, make sure to hit the thumbs up button on this video so we can spread this sucker around the internet and make everybody aware that Tesla is in fact a bubble. And everybody have a good day.